So I haven't made any videos about JD Vance ever since it was announced that he would be Trump's VP pick, um, in part because JD Vance isn't insanely interesting. I mean, I think most people's response when they heard that JD Vance was Trump's VP pick was, "Who the hell is JD Vance?" Um, Second response, and I didn't realize this right away, might have been, "Oh wait, isn't he the hillbilly elegy guy?" Um, yeah, he's a interesting, to say the least. And of course, it's also interesting given his past remarks about President Donald Trump. Um, Actually, I wanted to show this TikTok before I get into the main story. That just gives a good overview of the finding out Trump's VP or vice presidential pick, JD Vance, supports federal abortion bans without exception, supports Project 2025, called Trump America's Hitler, supports the Great Replacement theory, and supports Russia's war against Ukraine. So yeah, just a total psycho from top to bottom. But I bring him up because I wanted to cover this article on Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's attacks on Vance and vice versa. Beshear becomes Harris's top attack dog against Vance. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has become the top attack dog for Vice President Harris, the likely Democratic presidential nominee, against GOP Vice Presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance, Republican from Ohio, ripping his regional rival as a phony and not one of us. The bars between Beshear and Vance, a rising GOP star recently chosen as former President Trump's running mate, comes amid chatter about who could become Harris's vice presidential choice. Beshear and Vance are from neighboring states, and their sparring centered on who is a real representative of Appalachia, a geographic area centered on the Appalachian Mountains that is a focus of much political and cultural history and myth-making. Asked on NBC News whether he's open to being Harris's running mate, the Kentucky governor suggested he'd at least listen to such a call, then went to bat. "I want the American people to know what a Kentuckian is and what they look like, because let me tell you that J.D. Vance ain't from here," Beshear told the network. Vance responded by calling it very weird for Beshear to critique his original origin story, Political Reported, claiming the Democrat inherited the governorship from his father. Beshear, the son of former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear, hit back again on CNN, poking at the Ohio senator's prior criticisms of Trump and accusing him of grasping for straws in his swings against Harris and other Democrats. He also took a shot at Vance's memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, which describes the senator's Middletown, Ohio upbringing. In a statement to The Hill, Vance spokesperson Taylor Van Kirk stressed that Vance grew up spending his summers in Appalachia and came from a poor family, while arguing Beshear grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth thanks to his politician/lawyer daddy. The back and forth comes as Beshear is seen as one of the top candidates to join Harris's ticket, along with Arizona Senator Mark Kelly and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, with advocates pointing to the fact that he represents a state that voted overwhelmingly for Trump in both 2016 and 2020 as a core reason to choose him. Beshear's national profile started to rise after he won his re-election bid last year. Since then, he's been frequently spoken about as one of the party's future stars. It's not shocking that he would end up on a VP shortlist, said Kentucky-based Democratic strategist Crimson McDonald, the former chair of the Democratic Party in Campbell County, which she described as a linchpin, as a linchpin county for Beshear's first gubernatorial win. It's an obvious evolution. Beshear would offer the Democratic ticket a very strong dichotomy against J.D. Vance, particularly given their Appalachian roots, she argued. Beshear flipped the governorship blue in 2019, then scored a triumphant re-election with his win this past November, while he beat back a challenge from Trump-backed Daniel Cameron, himself seen as a bidding star in the GOP. And while Biden has suffered dismal approval ratings in the bluegrass state, Beshear has been ranked one of the most popular governors in the nation. This could make him an attractive potential running mate for Harris as she seeks to pull support from the middle of a starkly polarized electorate. So, I mean, it will be, I think, pretty important as to who Harris chooses as VIP. I'm a little bit partial to Beshear, again, just because of all the potential candidates, I'm most aware of his political career coming from Kentucky. And he is, as the article emphasizes, he is very well liked. He is a Democratic governor, very well liked in a red state, excuse me. I don't yet have an opinion as to who is the best possible choice. But I mean, I will emphasize that there is an important choice to be had. And all the more important because it looks like Trump chose a particularly bad choice. He seems to have chosen sort of a fanatical type who used to hate him and who a lot of people don't like. So Trump very well may regret that choice. But I thought this story was a good. I think it hit on sort of a main point, which is J.D. Vance kind of portrays himself as a average guy, modest background. But if you take anything from this video, he's a total psycho.